At Napa Wine Class, we explore how location and soil influence what ends up in your glass, one AVA at a time. Today we begin with one of Napa's most dynamic and warmest AVAs, Calistoga. Calistoga sits in the northern tip of Napa Valley, where volcanic history left behind diverse rocky soils, including volcanic tuff, pale loam, and alluvial cobblestones. These well-drained, low-fertility soils stress the vine, leading to smaller berries, greater concentration, and natural intensity in a wine. They also contribute to the firm tannins and earthy mineral tones that frame Calistoga reds. But it's not just soil. Climate is a defining factor. Calistoga is the hottest AVA in Napa, but it also seems of the greatest diurnal shifts. With temperatures dropping sharply at night, this dramatic fluctuation slows the ripening, helping grapes retain acidity and aromatic complexity. Perfect place for Cabernet Sauvignon, but also Zinfandel, Petit Syrah, and Syrah, each showing depth and ripeness balanced by freshness. Vineyard practices like canopy management, precise irrigation, and night harvesting are essential to preserving finesse in this environment. Calistoga Cabernet Sauvignon deliver boldness with a lot of structure, shaped by intense summer heat, cool mountain breezes, and rocky volcanic soils. So let's take a look at the Calistoga wine. Right here I have a Calistoga wine made with Clone 6 Cabernet Sauvignon. This is a heritage clone known for smaller berries and greater concentration of flavors. So when we look at the glass and we analyze wine with systematic approach to tasting, we see a deep ruby color from that smaller berry to pulp ratio. Once we get to the nose, the intensity of aromas is pronounced, and that again comes from the Clone 6, but also warmer climatic condition, allowing those flavors to fully ripen and show beautifully in this glass. The Cabernet Sauvignon from Calistoga, this particular Cabernet Sauvignon, is characterized by blackberry, black cherry, but also a delicate nose of the black currant, also known as cassis. There are chocolate tones underneath with a hint of vanilla, as well as aromas of herbs and a hint of that stony mineral tone coming from pale loam. Let's check the palate. So the first thing I'm finding on the palate is the tannins. Tannins is ripe, yet there is firmness to the tannins as well. This is a 2021 vintage. Beautifully shaped tannins in this particular vintage still need to be resolved. The next thing that comes right away is freshness of this wine. The large diurnal change in temperature gives us this refreshing medium plus acidity. The flavors are pronounced, and within those flavors, we again are seeking for the black fruit. So there's blackberry, black cherry, black plum, and a hint of cassis with the tones of chocolate, herbal components. This wine is actually slightly more on the herbal and restrained fruit character, and that comes from a great canopy management and shading in the canopy that is actually preserving the wines, the grapes from overheating and making sure that there's this great balance and uniformity in the crop, giving us a balance in the wine. And the long, gorgeous finish with the black cherry note. Now let's talk about systematic approach to tasting, and let's talk about the quality. When it comes to quality, we're looking at the 4 factors, and we call them BLIC: balance, length, intensity, wood typicity, and complexity. So we're finding a great balance between high alcohol in this wine and pronounced intensity of flavor. The long finish is leading us again to the black fruit character at the end with a hint of herbal undertone. And then right after, we're looking at the typicity and intensity. So intensity is pronounced, but typicity, this is the most important piece here. Because when it comes to typicity, this is this perfect combination of Calistoga characteristics, where we are showing ripeness of the fruit, balanced with the acidity that's coming from the diurnal change of temperature that allows slower ripening and gives the elegance and the balance in the wine. And then we're looking at the complexity. And when it comes to complexity, we want to talk about the flavor components, and we want to consider what kind of flavor components we're going to find in the wine. We're talking about the black fruit, but also the herbs. So we're also seeing some other flavors as those stony flavors that are coming from by alone. Then we're seeing some of those characters that are coming from the secondary flavors, which are the vanilla, the cedar notes as well. This is 2021, so the wine is still fairly young, and we're yet to see the development of the fruit. But the concentration of flavors is giving us a phenomenal potential for aging for this wine, because we have the high, elegant tannins, and we're looking also at medium plus acidity that balances the fruit, and the potential for the fruit to develop further and bring complexity of flavors to this wine. Therefore, we're going to call this wine an outstanding wine. So what do you expect from Calistoga wine, particularly Calistoga Cabernet Sauvignon? You're tasting the tension between the heat and the cool, the power and the poise. And the signature of this remarkable corner of wine is balance in between those factors. So stay tuned as we continue exploring Napa's AVAs, one glass at a time. Cheers.